What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in our video today we're taking a look at the Ruinous Effigy. This is a brand new exotic trace rifle coming this season. So in this video today we're going to show you exactly how you can get it, when we're likely to get it, and what this weapon can do. So if you want to find out everything about this weapon, then this is the video for you. Now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here and want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now each and every season we have the opportunity to get our hands on some new exotic weapons, and this season is no different. We've already seen some of the new weapons that this season has to offer, and we are literally around the corner from getting our hands on the Ruinous Effigy. As I said in the intro, this is a brand new exotic trace rifle coming this season in Season of Arrivals. As you can see, it's very ornate in the way that it looks, and it comes with the intrinsic trait Transmutation. This is where final blows with this weapon collapse victims into void transmutation spheres. Huge shout out to Jinsa over in Raid Secrets. He was able to data mine this from the game file, so massive shout out to him. All the footage that you see here of this weapon is as a result of him. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel as well in the video description below. Now alongside transmutation, it also has evolution. This is where transmutation spheres that you create can be picked up and wielded as a weapon by you or your allies, and you can either do light attacks, heavy attacks, or guard and drain nearby combatants. So all in all, some pretty crazy and unique perks. In terms of its weapon stats, it has a rounds per minute of 1000 and a large magazine of 94. It has a aim assist of 84, which is again very high, and a recoil direction of 96. So it's very stable when you're firing this weapon as well. So as you can see from the footage that Bungie have released of this weapon so far, and all the data mined information that Jinsa has been able to collect together, we've got our hands potentially on a very powerful weapon. But with that comes great responsibility, and we also need to find out how we can get our hands on this incredible piece of weaponry. So it's with that in mind, we're going to now walk down that road and discover exactly how we can get our hands on the Ruinous Effigy. Now the very first step of this quest is called Missive, and in order to do this we'll need to visit the prismatic recaster in the annex of the tower near the Drifter. Now he'll have some dialogue, as you can see on screen. Things making some weird noises, internal gravity's all wrong, never done that before. Bunch of dark energy sloshing around, linking up with something on Io. Probably none too safe. Come take a look before it explodes. Now having spoken to the Drifter, this will give us the second step of the quest, and this is called Gift. Now with this we have to complete the mission Interference once again over on Io. Now we completed many of these already this season, and they all tell a small piece of narrative story, and Eris is slowly communicating with the darkness, and this week will be no different. She'll provide us with some more dialogue and some insights for the next steps of the quest. Now having spoken to Eris at the end of the Interference mission, we'll get step 3, and this is called Pendulum. Now for this step of the quest we need to defeat 15 Savathûn Marionettes and also collect 25 calcified pieces of light. Now the reason we need to do this is that Eris believes that pyramids offer a gift in the form that we will understand, and that is weaponry, but the branch sieves with an unstable darkness, and this is to help stabilize that ahead of the final steps of the quest. Now we'll start off by looking at Savathûn's Marionettes. You can find these as part of the Contact public event either on Io or Titan. They are quite rare, but they are named, and they will be a variety of different champions, either Unstoppable, Barrier or Overload, and you'll need to at least get some hits on them in order to progress this step of the quest. Now the easiest way to make these spawn in is by making the event heroic, and then when the boss has spawned in, every time he replenishes his shield during a damage phase, it will spawn a Savathûn Marionette. So you most definitely do not want to melt bosses when the event is heroic. The more phases you have, the more potential opportunities you have to spawn a Savathûn Marionette. And remember, you are going to need 15 in order to complete this step. So be sure to make the most phases that you possibly can during the event to maximize your opportunities. And once you've defeated enough marionettes, you'll now need to get calcified light. You can find these fragments on Io, Titan, Mars and Mercury, but you'll need to use the Ghost's nav mode in order to find them. Now what the database doesn't say is that 25 per destination, or is that 25 across all 4 destinations. And as well as that, we don't know if they're entirely random or whether they're in fixed locations. Now, if they are in fixed locations, be sure to stick to the channel and I'll provide a video on this as soon as I've located them all. However, be sure to use your nav set, as you can see here, to give yourself the best opportunity of locating these calcified pieces of light. Now, once we've successfully defeated enough marionettes and collected all the calcified light fragments that we need, that brings us on to step 4, which is called Feed. Now, to complete this step, we'll need to get 25 precision multi-kills and complete Gambit or Reckoning, and we need to complete that at least 18 times. And this is alongside void kills, and we need 100 of these in order to complete the 4th step of the quest. Now, an important thing to note is that higher tiers of Reckoning and defeating invaders or defeats as an invader grant additional progress on this step. So if you're going to jump into Gambit, be sure to try and invade as much as possible to get the most effective progress. If you're not going to jump into Gambit though, then Reckoning is most definitely still a way to go. And if you do tier 3, then you'll still be offering yourself very good progress on this stage. And once you complete this stage, Eris will provide even more dialogue. I'll leave that on screen if you wish to read that. And this will bring us nicely onto the final stage. And the branch, though tempered and bound, still has a ravenous emptiness to its core, and we'll need to find power for which it can feed, and she'll grant us an exotic engram as a reward. Now, this will bring us on nicely to Shape, which is the 5th and final step of this exotic quest. Now, the description of this quest reads: decrypt your gift at the Umbral Decoder. The branch is sated and bound within an engram formed from Eris's incantations. The gift is ready to take its true shape. Now, by visiting the Umbral Decoder over by the Drifter, this will grant us the Ruinous Effigy. Now, there's also some transmission dialogue from Eris, which reads: touch of malice serves as a blueprint for this weapon. It was crude, vicious, but what I've made for you here is a thing of beauty. It is a catalyst of change, and nothing it graces will ever remain the same. So that is what the Ruinous Effigy is, its intrinsic traits and what it can do, and those are all the steps that we know of currently inside the database and the steps that we need to complete in order to get our hands on this weapon. But the big question now is, when are we going to get our hands on this? When are we going to be able to do this exotic quest? Well, if we take a look at the roadmap for Season of Arrivals, we have the exotic quest here in the top left hand side, and we have the up and coming Moment of Triumph as well. This has new triumphs and seals for us to go after, but it runs from the 7th of July all the way up till the 22nd of September when the new full expansion launches. Now, the reason that the 7th of July is the most notable date is this aligns very well with some Eververse insight available on Today in Destiny. This is a great website if you want to look at vendor inventories. I'll leave a link to this in the video description below. But as of the 7th of July, we start getting our hands on some of the Moment of Triumph gear, as you can see with the heart-shaped exotic ghost. But that red square there is a classified ornament, and this is what I believe to be Equinox. This is the weapon ornament for the Ruinous Effigy, which should be available on the 7th of July. Now, Bungie will always launch the ornaments for the weapons as soon as they are generally available in game. So with that all being said, with the Moment of Triumph starting on the 7th of July and Eververse selling the ornament for the weapon on that date as well, it's highly likely that as of Tuesday on the 7th of July, this is when we're going to start the first steps to the Ruinous Effigy exotic quest. So there we have it, guys. That is everything we know about the weapon, what it can do and its intrinsic traits, its quest and how to get it, and some hints and tips on the fastest way to complete each step, but also when we're likely to get our hands on the quest and eventually the weapon itself. Now, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel, and we're flying through the 30Ks. We're just about to smash through 33,000 subscribers. So thank you to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. It's overwhelming and I'm grateful for all your support. But if you're new around here though, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then you're in the right place, and be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.